Summary. David Kolodny's contributions to therapy focus on understanding clients' perspectives, building strong therapeutic relationships, and emphasizing holistic approaches to mental health. By creating a supportive environment, validating clients' feelings, and considering their broader life contexts, therapists can help individuals navigate their challenges and work toward personal growth. This approach fosters trust and encourages clients to take an active role in their healing journey. Hierarchy, a simple explanation. What is hierarchy? Hierarchy is a system of organizing people or things in a structured way, usually in levels of importance or authority. In a hierarchy, each level has different roles, responsibilities, and power. This concept can be found in many areas, including organizations, governments, and even nature. Key concepts of hierarchy. 1. Levels of hierarchy. Hierarchies are typically structured in levels, where each level is ranked above or below others. The top level usually holds the most power, while the lower levels have less authority. For example, in a company, the CEO is at the top of the hierarchy, followed by managers, supervisors, and then regular employees. 2. Roles and responsibilities. Each level in a hierarchy has specific roles and responsibilities. Higher-level positions often involve decision-making and oversight, while lower-level positions may focus on carrying out tasks and following instructions. For instance, a manager may set goals and strategies, while employees implement those plans. 3. Authority and control. Hierarchies establish a clear line of authority, meaning that each level has control over the levels below it. This helps maintain order and organization. For example, in a school, the principal has authority over teachers, who in turn have authority over students. Important details. Types of hierarchies. Organizational hierarchy. This is common in businesses and institutions, where individuals are ranked based on their job roles. For example, a corporation might have a CEO, followed by vice presidents, managers, and employees. Social hierarchy. This refers to the ranking of individuals in a society based on factors like wealth, status, or power. For example, in some cultures, social classes are clearly defined, with upper classes having more privileges than lower classes. Biological hierarchy. In nature, organisms are organized in a hierarchy from simple to complex. For example, cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, and organs make up systems in the body. Benefits of hierarchy. Clarity. Hierarchies provide clear structures, making it easier for individuals to understand their roles and responsibilities. For example, in a company, employees know who to report to and who to seek guidance from. Efficiency. Having a hierarchy can streamline decision-making processes, as higher-level managers can make quick decisions that affect the entire organization. For instance, a company can implement new policies faster with a clear chain of command. Accountability. Hierarchies allow for accountability, as it is easier to identify who is responsible for specific decisions or actions. If a project fails, it's clear who is in charge at each level. Examples to illustrate hierarchy. 1. Corporate example. In a large company, the CEO is at the top of the hierarchy. Below the CEO are vice presidents responsible for different departments. Each department has managers who oversee teams of employees. This structure ensures that everyone knows their role and who to report to. 2. School example. In a school, the principal is at the top of the hierarchy, followed by assistant principals, teachers, and students. The principal makes decisions about school policies, while teachers implement those policies in the classroom and manage their students. 3. Government example. In a government, the president or prime minister is at the top of the hierarchy. Below them are various levels of officials, such as governors, mayors, and local representatives. Each level has specific responsibilities, with the president overseeing national matters and local officials managing community issues. Summary. Hierarchy is a way of organizing people or things into levels of importance or authority. It helps clarify roles and responsibilities, streamlines decision-making, and establishes accountability. Hierarchies can be found in many areas, including organizations, society, and nature, making it a fundamental concept for understanding how systems work. What is pecking order? The term pecking order describes the hierarchy or ranking of individuals within a group, particularly regarding their social status, authority, or dominance. The concept originally comes from observing animals, especially birds, where the term refers to how they establish their social rank based on behaviors like pecking. In human contexts, it indicates how people relate to one another in terms of power, respect, or influence. Key concepts of pecking order. 1. Hierarchy. The pecking order establishes a clear ranking system within a group. Individuals at the top have more power or influence, while those at the bottom have less. For example, in a workplace, a manager may have more authority than an entry-level employee. 2. Social dynamics. The pecking order affects how individuals interact with one another. Those higher in the order might command more respect or obedience, while those lower in the order may feel pressure to conform or follow orders. For instance, in a school, popular students may set trends that others feel compelled to follow. 3. Behavioral indicators. In animal groups, the pecking order is often demonstrated through behaviors such as dominance displays, aggression, or submission. For example, in a flock of chickens, the dominant bird may peck at others to maintain its status. In human groups, behaviors like assertiveness, leadership, and social interactions can indicate someone's position in the pecking order. Important details. Establishment of the pecking order. The pecking order can develop through various means, such as competition, social interactions, or establish roles based on skills or experience. For example, in sports teams, veterans may have a higher rank than newcomers due to their experience and contributions. Impact on group functioning. Understanding the pecking order can help explain group dynamics and how decisions are made. It can influence cooperation, conflict resolution, and overall group effectiveness. For instance, in a project group, the leader's position in the pecking order will affect how team members contribute and communicate. Changes in the pecking order. The pecking order is not static. It can change over time based on individual achievements, changes in behavior, or shifts in group composition. For example, if a new employee demonstrates strong skills and leadership, they may quickly rise in the pecking order within their team. Examples to illustrate pecking order. 1. Workplace example. In a corporate office, the CEO is at the top of the pecking order, followed by vice presidents, managers, and entry-level employees. Decisions made at the top influence the entire organization, and employees often look to their managers for guidance. 2. School example. In a high school, the pecking order may be influenced by factors like popularity, athletic ability, or academic performance. Popular students might have a significant influence on social activities, while those who are less popular may find it challenging to assert themselves in social situations. 3. Animal behavior example. In a flock of chickens, the dominant hen will eat first and choose the best nesting spots. Other hens will follow its lead, showing submission to maintain peace within a group. This behavior illustrates the natural establishment of a pecking order in animal societies. Summary. The pecking order is a social hierarchy that determines the ranking and relationships among individuals within a group. It influences how people interact, make decisions, and assert their authority. Understanding the pecking order helps clarify group dynamics, whether in workplaces, schools, or animal groups, and highlights how status can affect behaviors and relationships. Factions, a simple explanation. Or factions. Factions are groups of individuals within a larger organization, community, or society who share common interests, beliefs, or goals that may differ from those of the larger group. These groups can influence decision-making, create conflicts, or work together to achieve specific objectives. Factions are often seen in political contexts, but they can also exist in social, religious, or organizational settings. Key concepts of factions. 1. Formation of factions. Factions typically form when individuals feel that their needs or views are not adequately represented by the larger group. They come together to advocate for their specific interests. For example, in a political party, members who support environmental issues may form a faction to promote green policies. 2. Common interests. Members of a faction share common goals, ideas, or beliefs that differentiate them from the broader group. This shared interest helps unify them and motivates their actions. For instance, a faction within a university might focus on student rights and advocate for changes in university policies. 3. Influence and power. Factions can exert significant influence on the larger organization or community. They can shape policies, create alliances, or challenge existing authority. For example, a faction within a city council may push for specific legislation that reflects their interests, impacting the entire community. Important details. Positive and negative effects. Factions can have both positive and negative effects. On the positive side, they can represent diverse viewpoints and encourage discussion on important issues. On the negative side, they can lead to division, conflict, and a lack of cohesion within a larger group. For instance, factions in a political party may lead to infighting, weakening the party's overall effectiveness. Role in democracy. In democratic systems, factions are often seen as a natural part of the political process. They allow for the representation of different interests and can contribute to a more vibrant debate on important issues. However, if factions become too powerful, they can undermine the unity of the party or organization. Combating factionalism. Organizations often seek to manage or mitigate the influence of factions to maintain stability and unity. This can involve promoting open communication, encouraging collaboration, and finding common ground among different groups. For example, a workplace may hold team-building events to foster cooperation and reduce factional tensions. Examples to illustrate factions. 1. Political example. In a political party, there may be factions that support different policies. For instance, one faction might advocate for social justice initiatives, while another focuses on economic reform. These factions may compete for influence within the party, shaping its platform and direction. 2. School example. In a high school, students might form factions based on shared interests, such as the debate club, the environmental club, or the sports team. Each faction may have its own goals, such as promoting a debate competition, organizing a recycling program, or winning a championship. 3. Religious example. Within a religious community, different factions may interpret teachings differently or emphasize various practices. For example, a church might have factions that focus on social outreach, while others prioritize traditional worship styles. Summary. Factions are groups within a larger organization that share common interests or beliefs, which can lead to influence and action. They can play a vital role in representing diverse viewpoints, but can also create division and conflict. Understanding factions helps clarify how groups function and interact, whether in politics, schools, or communities, highlighting the importance of balance and collaboration for effective decision-making. Subgroup. A simple explanation. What is a subgroup? A subgroup is a smaller group that exists within a larger group, often sharing specific characteristics, interests, or goals. Subgroups can form in various contexts, such as social settings, organizations, or research studies. Understanding subgroups helps highlight how people organize themselves and interact in different situations. Key concepts of subgroups. 1. Definition and structure. A subgroup is part of a larger group, but has its own distinct identity or focus. For example, in a large organization, different departments can be considered subgroups, each with specific roles and responsibilities. 2. Common interests. Members of a subgroup usually share common interests or goals that differentiate them from the larger group. This shared focus helps create a sense of belonging among members. For instance, in a school, a subgroup might consist of students who are passionate about environmental issues and work together on sustainability projects. 3. Function and purpose. Subgroups often serve specific functions within a larger group. They can facilitate communication, foster collaboration, and enable more targeted efforts. For example, a committee within a nonprofit organization may focus on fundraising, while another subgroup works on community outreach. Important details. Benefits of subgroups. Specialization. Subgroups allow for specialization, where members can focus on areas where they have expertise or strong interest. This can lead to more effective work and better outcomes. For instance, a tech company might have subgroups focused on software development, hardware engineering, and customer support. Enhance collaboration. Subgroups can enhance collaboration by allowing members to work closely with others who share their interests. This can lead to innovative ideas and stronger teamwork. For example, a school club focused on robotics can foster creativity and problem-solving among members. Challenges of subgroups. Division. While subgroups can provide benefits, they can also create division within the larger group. If subgroups become too focused on their own interests, they may neglect the overall goals of the larger group. For instance, if departments within a company prioritize their own objectives over the company's mission, it can lead to conflict and inefficiency. Communication barriers. Subgroups might create communication barriers, as members may become more connected with their subgroup than with a larger group. This can result in misunderstandings or a lack of cohesion. For example, if members of a project team only communicate within their subgroup, they might miss important updates from other teams. Examples to illustrate subgroups. 1. Workplace example. In a large corporation, there might be several subgroups, such as the marketing team, sales team, and product development team. Each subgroup has its own focus, but ultimately works towards the company's overall goals. 2. School example. In a high school, students may form subgroups based on interests, such as a debate team, art club, or science club. Each subgroup allows students to pursue their passions and collaborate with like-minded peers. 3. Research example. In a research study involving a large population, researchers may create subgroups based on certain criteria, like age or health status, to analyze specific trends or outcomes. For example, a health study might have subgroups for teenagers, adults, and seniors to understand how different age groups respond to a treatment. Summary. A subgroup is a smaller group within a larger group, characterized by shared interests or goals. Subgroups play important roles by allowing for specialization, enhancing collaboration, and fostering a sense of belonging. However, they can also lead to division and communication barriers if not managed properly. Understanding subgroups helps clarify how people organize themselves and interact in various contexts, from workplaces to schools and beyond. Ecological planning. A simple explanation. What is ecological planning? Ecological planning is the process of designing and managing land use and development in a way that considers the environment and promotes sustainability. It aims to create spaces that balance human needs with the health of ecosystems. This type of planning takes into account natural resources, wildlife habitats, and the overall well-being of the environment, while also addressing social and economic factors. Key concepts of ecological planning. 1. Sustainability. Sustainability is the core principle of ecological planning. It involves meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. For example, using renewable energy sources like solar or wind power helps reduce reliance on fossil fuels and supports long-term environmental health. 2. Ecosystem services. Ecosystem services are the benefits that humans receive from natural environments. These include clean air and water, pollination of crops, and climate regulation. Ecological planning seeks to protect and enhance these services to ensure that communities can thrive. For instance, preserving wetlands can help filter water and reduce flooding. 3. Land use management. Effective land use management is crucial in ecological planning. This involves determining how land should be used for various purposes, such as agriculture, housing, industry, and recreation, while minimizing negative impacts on the environment. For example, zoning laws can be established to protect green spaces and wildlife habitats in urban areas. Important details. Assessment and research. Ecological planning often begins with assessing the natural environment, including soil quality, water resources, and existing wildlife habitats. This research helps planners understand the ecosystem's health and identify areas that need protection or restoration. For example, mapping out endangered species habitats can guide development projects to avoid harming those areas. Community involvement. Involving the community in the planning process is essential. Public input can provide valuable insights, ensure that local needs are met, and promote a sense of ownership over the environment. For instance, community workshops can gather opinions on park development or conservation efforts. Interdisciplinary approach. Ecological planning requires collaboration among various fields, including ecology, urban planning, economics, and social sciences. This interdisciplinary approach helps create comprehensive plans that address multiple aspects of sustainability and environmental protection. Examples to illustrate ecological planning. 1. Urban planning example. A city might implement ecological planning by creating green roofs on buildings, developing parks, and preserving natural areas. These efforts can improve air quality, enhance biodiversity, and provide recreational spaces for residents. 2. Conservation project example. A local government may launch a project to restore a degraded wetland. The project would involve removing invasive species, planting native vegetation, and creating pathways for wildlife. This not only helps the ecosystem recover, but also provides educational opportunities for the community. 3. Agricultural planning example. Farmers might adopt ecological planning by using sustainable farming practices, such as crop rotation and organic fertilizers. This helps maintain soil health, reduces chemical runoff, and supports local biodiversity. Summary. Ecological planning is the process of designing land use and development in a way that prioritizes environmental health and sustainability. It involves understanding ecosystems, assessing natural resources, and engaging the community. By focusing on sustainability, ecosystem services, and effective land use management, ecological planning aims to create spaces that benefit both people and the environment, ensuring a healthier planet for future generations. Sociometry, a simple explanation. What is sociometry? Sociometry is a method used to measure and analyze social relationships and interactions within a group. It helps to understand how members of a group relate to one another, including the preferences, connections, and influences. This technique is often used in fields like psychology, education, and social work to assess group dynamics and improve social interactions. Key concepts of sociometry. 1. Mapping relationships. Sociometry involves creating visual representations, often called sociograms, to show the relationships between individuals in a group. These diagrams can illustrate who interacts with whom, who prefers to work together, and how strong those connections are. For example, a sociogram in a classroom might show which students are friends or often collaborate on projects. 2. Social preferences. Sociometry measures social preferences, meaning it looks at how individuals choose to connect with others. This can include friendships, alliances, or even rivalries. Understanding these preferences can help identify leaders, isolates, and cliques within a group. For instance, a sociometry survey might reveal that certain students are consistently chosen as partners for group work, highlighting their social influence. 3. Group dynamics. Sociometry helps analyze group dynamics, which refers to the behaviors and interactions that occur within a group. By examining how individuals relate to one another, sociometry can identify patterns in communication, cooperation, and conflict. For example, if a sociogram reveals that one student is isolated from the rest, it may indicate issues with inclusion that need to be addressed. Important details. Data collection. Sociometric data can be collected through surveys or questionnaires where individuals rate their relationships or preferences with others in the group. For example, students might be asked to list their top 3 friends in class, which can then be analyzed to create the sociogram. Applications. Sociometry has various applications, such as in educational settings to improve classroom dynamics, in therapy to understand family relationships, or in organizational settings to enhance teamwork. For instance, a teacher might use sociometry to identify students who feel left out and create strategies to foster inclusivity. Benefits. Using sociometry can lead to better understanding and management of social relationships. It can help identify strengths and weaknesses within a group, promote collaboration, and address conflicts. For example, a group that is struggling with communication may benefit from sociometric insights to improve their interactions. Examples to illustrate sociometry. 1. Classroom example. A teacher conducts a sociometric survey at the beginning of the school year, asking students to identify their preferred partners for group projects. After analyzing the results, the teacher creates balanced groups that include a mix of students, ensuring that everyone feels included and has opportunities to work with different peers. 2. Therapy example. In family therapy, a therapist might use sociometry to explore the relationships among family members. By mapping out who feels closest to whom, the therapist can identify areas of tension or disconnect and work on strategies to improve communication and support. 3. Organizational example. In a workplace, a manager may use sociometry to understand team dynamics. By analyzing how employees interact and who they seek support from, the manager can identify key influencers and potential conflicts, allowing for better team-building strategies. Summary. Sociometry is a valuable tool for measuring and analyzing social relationships within groups. By mapping these relationships and understanding social preferences, sociometry provides insights into group dynamics, identifies strengths and weaknesses, and helps improve interactions. Whether in classrooms, families, or workplaces, sociometry can enhance understanding and promote healthier social environments. Family sculpturing. A simple explanation. What is family sculpturing? Family sculpturing is a therapeutic technique used in family therapy to help families visualize and understand their relationships and dynamics. This method involves physically arranging family members in a way that represents their feelings, roles, and interactions. The goal is to create a sculpture that reflects the family's dynamics and encourages discussion and insight into their relationships. Key concepts of family sculpturing. 1. Physical representation. In family sculpturing, family members take positions or poses that symbolize their feelings and relationships with one another. For example, one family member might stand close to another to show a strong bond, while another might stand further away to indicate feelings of distance or conflict. 2. Visualization of dynamics. By creating a physical representation of their relationships, families can see their dynamics more clearly. This visualization can help them understand how they interact and communicate with each other. For instance, if a child stands in front of a parent, it might represent the child feeling protective or wanting attention. 3. Facilitating communication. Family sculpturing encourages open communication among family members. As they discuss the sculpture they create, they can express their feelings and perspectives. This process often leads to deeper understanding and empathy within a family. For example, a family might realize that one member feels overlooked, prompting a conversation about validating each other's feelings. Important details. Therapeutic process. A trained therapist typically guides family sculpturing sessions. The therapist helps facilitate the process, encouraging family members to express their thoughts and feelings as they create the sculpture. This guidance is essential for ensuring that the process is constructive and supportive. Symbolism. The positions and gestures chosen by family members carry symbolic meaning. For example, crossing arms might indicate defensiveness, while open body language suggests willingness to connect. Understanding these symbols can help families identify underlying issues. Flexibility. Family sculpturing can be adapted to different family structures and situations. It can be used with nuclear families, extended families, or even blended families. Each family can create their unique sculpture that reflects their specific dynamics. Examples to illustrate family sculpturing. 1. Example of a family session. In a therapy session, a family stands in a circle. The parents might choose to stand facing each other, while the children stand off to the side. This arrangement could indicate a disconnection between the parents and children. The therapist might then ask the children how they feel about their position, leading to a discussion about feeling neglected or wanting more family time. 2. Example of symbolic positions. A family might create a sculpture where one child stands in front of the parents with their arms crossed, indicating they feel misunderstood. The parents might then realize that they need to listen more to their child's feelings and adjust their communication style. 3. Example of change over time. During follow-up sessions, the same family may recreate their sculpture after working on their communication. They might arrange themselves closer together, showing improved relationships. This visual change can signify progress and motivate the family to continue their efforts. Summary. Family sculpturing is a therapeutic technique that uses physical arrangements to represent family dynamics and relationships. By visualizing their interactions, family members can gain insights into their feelings and communication styles. This method promotes open dialogue, empathy, and understanding, allowing families to work through their challenges and strengthen their connections. Recapitulate, a simple explanation. What does recapitulate mean? The term recapitulate means to summarize or restate the main points or ideas of something, often in a concise way. It allows someone to review the important aspects of a discussion, lecture, text, or event without going into all the details. Recapitulation is commonly used in various contexts, including education, writing, and discussions. Key concepts of recapitulation. 1. Summarizing information. Recapitulating involves condensing information into a brief overview. This is helpful when you want to highlight the essential elements without getting lost in the details. For example, after reading a chapter in a book, a student might recapitulate the main themes to better understand the material. 2. Clarifying ideas. Recapitulation can help clarify complex ideas by breaking them down into simpler parts. This process ensures that the audience or readers grasp the main concepts. For instance, a teacher might recapitulate the key points of a lesson at the end of class to reinforce learning. 3. Reinforcement. Recapitulating information can reinforce what has been learned, making it easier to remember. By reviewing the main points, individuals can strengthen their understanding and retention of the material. For example, students often recapitulate their notes before an exam to ensure they have a solid grasp of the content. Important details. Context of use. Recapitulation is used in various settings, including academic, professional, and casual conversations. In a business meeting, a manager might recapitulate the decisions made during the meeting to ensure everyone is on the same page. Structure. Effective recapitulation typically follows a logical order, presenting the main points in a structured manner. This can include stating the main idea first, followed by supporting details. For example, if discussing a novel, one might start with the central theme, then mention key characters and events that illustrate that theme. Tools for recapitulation. Various tools and techniques can aid in recapitulation, such as outlines, bullet points, and visual aids like charts or diagrams. These tools can help organize information clearly and effectively. Examples to illustrate recapitulation. 1. Classroom example. After a lesson on photosynthesis, a teacher might say, to recapitulate, photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy. The main steps include capturing sunlight, using carbon dioxide and water, and producing glucose and oxygen. 2. Meeting example. At the end of a project meeting, a project manager might recapitulate by saying, in summary, we have agreed to increase the budget by 10%, assign John to. Lead the marketing team, and set the deadline for next month. 3. Research paper example. In the conclusion of a research paper, the author might recapitulate the main findings by stating, to recapitulate, our research indicates that regular exercise significantly improves mental health, reduces stress, and enhances overall well-being. Summary. Recapitulate, summarize, or restate the key points of information in a clear and concise manner. It is a valuable tool for reinforcing understanding, clarifying ideas, and ensuring effective communication. Whether in educational settings, professional meetings, or casual conversations, recapitulation helps individuals grasp and remember important concepts more easily. Summarization, a simple explanation. What is summarization? Summarization is the process of taking a larger piece of information, like a text, lecture, or a conversation, and condensing it into a shorter version. The goal is to capture the main ideas and key points while leaving out the less important details. Summarization helps people quickly understand the essence of the material without having to go through all the details. Key concepts of summarization. 1. Identifying main ideas. The first step in summarization is identifying the main ideas or themes. This involves focusing on what is most important in the material. For example, in a news article, the main idea is often found in the headline and the first few paragraphs. 2. Condensing information. Summarization requires condensing information into fewer words while maintaining the original meaning. This means rephrasing and combining ideas to create a brief overview. For instance, instead of writing several paragraphs about a novel's plot, you might summarize it in a few sentences that capture the key events. 3. Clarity and conciseness. A good summary should be clear and concise, avoiding unnecessary jargon or complex language. The aim is to make the summary easy to understand for anyone who reads it. For example, if summarizing a scientific study, you should explain the findings in simple terms without using overly technical language. Important details. Purpose of summarization. Summarization serves several purposes, including helping with comprehension, aiding memory retention, and making information more accessible. For students, summarizing notes can make studying easier and more efficient. Types of summarization. There are various types of summarization, including descriptive summaries. These provide a general overview of the content without going into detail, like summarizing a book's main theme. Analytical summaries. These involve a deeper analysis of the material, discussing the significance of the main points and their implications. Techniques for summarization. Some effective techniques for summarization include highlighting key points. While reading, underline or highlight important sentences. Taking notes. Write down main ideas in your own words. Using bullet points. Create a list of key points to present the information clearly. Examples to illustrate summarization. 1. Book summary example. If you were summarizing The Great Gatsby, you might write, The Great Gatsby tells the story of Jay Gatsby, a wealthy man who throws extravagant parties in hopes of reuniting with his lost love, Daisy Buchanan. The novel explores themes of the American dream, wealth, and social class in the 1920s. 2. Movie summary example. For a movie like Finding Nemo, a summary could be, Finding Nemo follows the journey of Marlin, a clownfish who travels across the ocean to rescue his son, Nemo, who has been captured by a diver. Along the way, Marlin learns to face his fears and trust others. 3. Lecture summary example. After a lecture on climate change, a student might summarize. The lecture discussed the causes and effects of climate change, emphasizing the role of human activities in increasing greenhouse gas emissions. It highlighted the importance of renewable energy sources and individual actions in combating climate change. Summary. Summarization is the process of condensing information into a shorter, clearer version that captures the main ideas and key points. It involves identifying the most important elements, rephrasing them, and presenting them concisely. Summarization is a valuable skill for studying, communication, and understanding complex materials, making it easier to grasp essential concepts and retain information. Clarification, a simple explanation. What is clarification? Clarification is the process of making something clear or easier to understand. It involves explaining, defining, or elaborating on a topic or statement to remove confusion or ambiguity. Clarification is essential in communication, as it helps ensure that everyone has the same understanding of what is being discussed. Key concepts of clarification. 1. Removing ambiguity. Clarification focuses on removing any unclear or vague elements from a conversation or text. This can involve defining terms or providing examples to ensure that the message is understood. For instance, if someone uses a technical term that others do not understand, clarifying that term can help everyone follow along. 2. Asking questions. One of the best ways to achieve clarification is by asking questions. When someone doesn't fully understand something, asking for more information or examples can help clarify the point. For example, if a teacher explains a complex concept and a student asks, "Can you give an example?" it allows the teacher to clarify their explanation. 3. Providing explanations. Clarification often involves providing additional explanations or context. This can help deepen understanding and make the information more relatable. For instance, if a speaker mentions a historical event, they might clarify by explaining its significance and how it relates to the current topic. Important details. Importance of clarification. Clarification is crucial in effective communication because it prevents misunderstandings and ensures that everyone is on the same page. It is especially important in academic, professional, and interpersonal contexts where clear communication is essential. Techniques for clarification. Some techniques for achieving clarification include paraphrasing, restating what someone else has said in your own words to confirm understanding. Summarizing, providing a brief overview of the main points to ensure clarity. Examples and analogies. Using relatable examples or analogies to make complex ideas easier to understand. Context matters. The need for clarification can arise in various contexts, such as in classroom discussions, workplace meetings, or during conversations with friends. Being attentive to when clarification is needed is key to effective communication. Examples to illustrate clarification. 1. Classroom example. A teacher explains a scientific process but uses technical language. A student raises their hand and asks, "What do you mean by photosynthesis?" The teacher then clarifies by explaining that photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy. 2. Professional example. During a business meeting, a manager says, "We need to optimize our resources." An employee asks, "Can you clarify what resources you are referring to?" The manager clarifies that they mean both human resources and financial resources needed for the project. 3. Personal example. In a conversation, one friend says, "I'm feeling overwhelmed." The other friend responds, "Can you clarify what's making you feel that way?" By asking for clarification, the friend encourages a deeper discussion about the specific issues. Causing the stress. Summary. Clarification is the process of making information clear and understandable by removing ambiguity, asking questions, and providing explanations. It is essential for effective communication, ensuring that everyone involved has a shared understanding of the topic. Using techniques like paraphrasing, summarizing, and giving examples can help achieve clarity and enhance discussions in various contexts, from classrooms to workplaces and everyday conversations. Blocking. A simple explanation. What is blocking? Blocking is a term used in various contexts, including psychology, communication, and theater. In general, it refers to the act of preventing or hindering something from happening. Understanding blocking can help in recognizing how it affects communication, emotions, and performance. Key concepts of blocking. 1. Psychological blocking. In psychology, blocking often refers to the inability to remember or access information. This can happen during stressful situations, such as when a student forgets what to say during an exam or presentation. It can also occur in therapy when someone struggles to talk about certain feelings or memories due to anxiety or fear. 2. Communication blocking. In communication, blocking can refer to behaviors that prevent open dialogue. This might include interrupting someone, dismissing their ideas, or using body language that suggests disinterest. For example, if one person is talking and the other is constantly checking their phone, it can block effective communication and make the speaker feel ignored. 3. Theatrical blocking. In theater, blocking refers to the precise staging of actors in a scene. It involves planning where actors will move and how they will interact on stage. This is essential for ensuring that the performance is visually appealing and that the audience can follow the story. For example, a director might block a scene where two characters have a confrontation by having them move towards each other to create tension. Important details. Causes of psychological blocking. Psychological blocking can be caused by various factors, including stress, anxiety, or overwhelming emotions. For example, during a public speaking event, a person might feel so anxious that they completely blank out, forgetting their speech. Effects of communication blocking. When blocking occurs in communication, it can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. It can hinder relationships and make it difficult for people to connect with one another. For instance, if a manager frequently interrupts employees during meetings, it can discourage team members from sharing their ideas. Importance of blocking in theater. Effective blocking in theater is crucial for storytelling. It helps convey emotions, highlights important moments, and ensures that the audience can see and hear everything clearly. A well-blocked scene can enhance the overall impact of the performance. Examples to illustrate blocking. 1. Psychological blocking example. A student preparing for a big exam feels extremely anxious and suddenly forgets everything they studied when they sit down to take the test. This mental block prevents them from recalling important information. 2. Communication blocking example. In a group discussion, one member dominates the conversation and cuts off others who try to share their thoughts. This blocking behavior makes it hard for the group to have a productive dialogue and share diverse opinions. 3. Theatrical blocking example. In a school play, the director decides that during a pivotal scene, the main character will stand center stage while the supporting characters move around them. This blocking emphasizes the main character's importance and draws the audience's attention to their emotional struggles. Summary. Blocking is a term that can describe different situations in psychology, communication, and theater. In psychology, it refers to the inability to recall information. In communication, it involves behaviors that hinder open dialogue. In theater, it is about the arrangement of actors on stage. Understanding blocking is important for improving memory, enhancing communication skills, and creating engaging performances. Recognizing and addressing blocking behaviors can lead to better interactions and more effective storytelling. Linking, a simple explanation. What is linking? Linking is a term used in various contexts, but generally, it refers to the process of connecting or associating different ideas, concepts, or elements. This connection can help enhance understanding, facilitate communication, and create relationships between different pieces of information. Linking is important in writing, speaking, and even in social interactions. Key concepts of linking. 1. Connecting ideas. In writing or speaking, linking involves connecting ideas to create a flow of thought. This can be done using transitional words or phrases, which help guide the reader or listener through the content. For example, words like however, therefore, and in addition are linking words that show how ideas relate to each other. 2. Creating relationships. Linking can also refer to establishing relationships between concepts, experiences, or people. For instance, in social settings, linking can involve finding common interests or experiences that help build connections between individuals. When people discover shared hobbies or backgrounds, it helps strengthen their relationship. 3. Causal linking. Causal linking focuses on connecting cause and effect. This means explaining how one event leads to another. For example, if a student studies hard, they are likely to do well on their exam. Understanding these causal links can help individuals make sense of their experiences and decisions. Important details. Techniques for linking in writing. Good linking in writing involves using clear transitions and maintaining coherence. This ensures that readers can easily follow the argument or narrative. For example, when writing an essay, a student might use linking phrases like "on the other hand" to contrast two different viewpoints. Linking in communication. Effective communication often relies on linking ideas clearly. When presenting information, speakers should connect points logically to help the audience understand the message. For instance, a speaker might summarize previous points before introducing a new idea to reinforce connections. Social linking. In social contexts, linking can involve networking, where individuals connect with others to share information, resources, or support. Building a strong network can help individuals achieve personal or professional goals. For example, a student might attend events to link with peers in their field of interest. Examples to illustrate linking. 1. Writing example. In an essay about climate change, a student might write, "Climate change is causing severe weather patterns. Moreover, it impacts agriculture, leading to food shortages." The word "moreover" links the ideas and shows that the second statement builds on the first. 2. Communication example. During a meeting, a manager says, "We have seen a decline in sales this quarter. Therefore, we need to implement new marketing strategies." The word "therefore" links the cause to the effect. 3. Social example. At a college event, two students meet and discover they both enjoy hiking. One might say, "I love hiking on weekends. What about you?" This question links their common interest and opens the door for further conversation and relationship building. Summary. Linking is the process of connecting ideas, concepts, or individuals to enhance understanding and communication. It can be applied in writing through transitional words, in speaking by maintaining logical flow, and in social interactions by finding common ground. Effective linking helps create coherence in communication and strengthens relationships, making it a valuable skill in various contexts. Understanding how to link effectively can improve both personal and academic interactions. Making the rounds, a simple explanation. What does making the rounds mean? The phrase, making the rounds, refers to the act of visiting different places or people, often in a systematic way, to gather information, share news, or check on situations. This phrase is commonly used in various contexts, such as healthcare, social interactions, and professional settings. Key concepts of making the rounds. 1. Healthcare context. In the medical field, making the rounds typically refers to doctors or healthcare professionals visiting patients in a hospital to check on their condition, provide care, and discuss treatment plans. For example, a doctor may walk through the hospital wards each morning to see how patients are doing. 2. Social context. In social settings, making the rounds can mean visiting friends, family, or colleagues to catch up, share news, or socialize. For instance, someone might make the rounds at a party, talking to different guests to connect and enjoy the event. 3. Professional context. In a workplace, making the rounds can involve a manager or team leader visiting different departments or employees to gather updates, provide support, or discuss projects. This helps maintain communication and foster relationships within the organization. Important details. Purpose of making the rounds. The main purpose of making the rounds is to ensure that everyone is informed and connected. In healthcare, it helps monitor patient progress. In social settings, it builds relationships and camaraderie. In workplaces, it encourages teamwork and collaboration. Frequency and routine. Making the rounds can be a regular part of someone's job or social routine. For example, a nurse might make rounds every few hours to check on patients, while a manager might make rounds weekly to stay updated on team projects. Engagement and communication. Effective rounds involve engaging with the people being visited. This means asking questions, listening to concerns, and providing feedback. Good communication is key to making the rounds beneficial for everyone involved. Examples to illustrate making the rounds. 1. Healthcare example. A group of doctors starts their day by making the rounds in the hospital. They visit each patient, take notes on their health status, and discuss any changes in treatment. This ensures that all patients receive the care they need. 2. Social example. At a family reunion, a relative might make the rounds to catch up with each family member. They start with grandma, then move to cousins, and finally chat with uncles and aunts, sharing stories and laughter along the way. 3. Professional example. A team leader makes the rounds at the office to check in on different projects. They stop by the marketing team to ask about their campaign, visit the sales team to hear about client feedback, and finally check in with the IT department for any technical issues. This keeps everyone aligned and informed. Summary. Making the rounds is the process of visiting different places or people to gather information, share news, or check on situations. It is commonly used in healthcare, social interactions, and professional environments. The purpose is to ensure communication, build relationships, and stay updated on important matters. Whether in a hospital, at a gathering, or in a workplace, making the rounds helps create connections and foster collaboration among individuals. Horizontal interventions. A simple explanation. What are horizontal interventions? Horizontal interventions are strategies used to address issues or improve situations across different levels or departments within an organization or system. Unlike vertical interventions, which focus on hierarchical levels, horizontal interventions emphasize collaboration and communication among peers or different departments. The goal is to create a more integrated and cohesive environment. Key concepts of horizontal interventions. 1. Collaboration. At the heart of horizontal interventions is the idea of collaboration. This means that people from different departments or teams work together to solve problems or improve processes. For example, marketing and sales teams might collaborate to create a campaign that reflects both departments' insights. 2. Information sharing. Horizontal interventions often involve sharing information and resources across departments. This can help break down silos or barriers that might exist between teams. For instance, a company might hold regular meetings where different departments share updates and best practices. 3. Team building. Team building activities can be a form of horizontal intervention. These activities encourage employees from different areas of the organization to work together, build trust, and strengthen relationships. This can lead to improved communication and teamwork in everyday tasks. Important details. Purpose of horizontal interventions. The main purpose is to enhance cooperation between teams, improve overall performance, and create a more unified work culture. By encouraging collaboration, organizations can respond more effectively to challenges and capitalize on opportunities. Applications. Horizontal interventions can be applied in various settings, including businesses, schools, and community organizations. They're useful for addressing complex problems that require input from multiple perspectives. Examples of horizontal interventions. Examples include cross-functional teams, where employees from different departments come together to work on a specific project, or workshops that bring together staff from various levels to brainstorm solutions to common issues. Examples to illustrate horizontal interventions. 1. Business example. A company facing declining sales might implement a horizontal intervention by forming a task force with members from marketing, sales, and customer service. They work together to identify the root causes of the problem and develop a comprehensive strategy to improve customer engagement and sales. 2. Educational example. In a school, teachers from different subjects might collaborate to create an interdisciplinary project. For instance, a science teacher and a history teacher could work together on a project about the impact of technology on society, allowing students to see connections between different fields of study. 3. Community example. A community organization might hold a community forum where members from various local groups, such as youth organizations, businesses, and health services, come together to discuss issues like public safety or community development. This encourages sharing ideas and resources to address common challenges. Summary. Horizontal interventions are strategies that promote collaboration and communication across different levels or departments within an organization. By focusing on teamwork, information sharing, and relationship building, these interventions aim to create a more cohesive and effective environment. They can be applied in various settings, including businesses, schools, and communities, and are essential for addressing complex issues that require input from multiple perspectives. Vertical interventions, a simple explanation. What are vertical interventions? Vertical interventions are strategies or actions taken within an organization that focus on improving processes or addressing issues through the hierarchical structure. This means that these interventions typically involve communication, decision-making, and changes that occur from the top levels of management down to the lower levels of employees. The goal is often to improve performance, resolve conflicts, or implement new policies effectively. Key concepts of vertical interventions. 1. Hierarchy. Vertical interventions operate within the established hierarchy of an organization. This means that decisions or changes are usually made by higher management and then communicated down to employees at lower levels. For example, a CEO may decide to implement a new company policy, which is then passed down to managers who inform their teams. 2. Top-down communication. In vertical interventions, communication typically flows from the top to the bottom. Leaders communicate their vision, goals, or changes, and employees are expected to follow these directives. This can help ensure that everyone is aligned with the organization's objectives. For instance, a manager might hold a meeting to explain new procedures to their team. 3. Implementation of policies. Vertical interventions often involve the implementation of new policies or procedures that require adherence from all levels of the organization. This can include changes in workplace rules, performance expectations, or training programs. For example, a company may introduce a new safety protocol that all employees must follow. Important details. Purpose of vertical interventions. The main purpose is to create structure and clarity within the organization. By having a clear chain of command, it can be easier to implement changes and ensure that everyone understands their roles and responsibilities. Challenges. One challenge of vertical interventions is that they can sometimes lead to resistance from employees, especially if they feel that decisions are made without their input. This can create frustration or disengagement among staff. It is important for leaders to communicate effectively and consider feedback when making decisions. Examples of vertical interventions. Examples include performance evaluations conducted by managers, training sessions led by supervisors, or organizational restructuring initiated by top management. Examples to illustrate vertical interventions. 1. Business example. A company is experiencing low productivity, so the CEO decides to implement a new performance management system. The CEO communicates this change to all department heads, who then hold meetings with their teams to explain the new process and set clear expectations for performance reviews. 2. Educational example. In a school, the principal may enforce a new policy requiring all teachers to use a standardized grading system. The principal informs the teachers about the change in a staff meeting, explaining the reasons behind it and outlining the steps they need to follow. 3. Healthcare example. In a hospital, the administration decides to improve patient care by introducing new electronic health record systems. The hospital leaders conduct training sessions for doctors and nurses to ensure everyone understands how to use the system effectively, emphasizing the importance of complying with the new procedures. Summary. Vertical interventions are strategies that focus on making changes and improvements within an organization through its hierarchical structure. They involve top-down communication, where decisions made by higher management are implemented at lower levels. While these interventions can create clarity and structure, they may also face challenges such as resistance from employees. Understanding vertical interventions is crucial for effective management and organizational success. Interpersonal, a simple explanation. What does interpersonal mean? The term interpersonal refers to interactions and relationships between people. It involves how individuals communicate, relate to, and understand each other in various social contexts. Interpersonal skills are essential for building and maintaining relationships, whether in personal life, school, or the workplace. Key concepts of interpersonal. 1. Communication. Communication is a crucial aspect of interpersonal interactions. It includes verbal communication and nonverbal communication. Effective communication helps convey messages clearly and fosters understanding between individuals. 2. Relationships. Interpersonal skills are vital for developing and nurturing relationships. These skills help people connect with others, whether in friendships, family dynamics, or professional settings. Building strong relationships often relies on trust, empathy, and active listening. 3. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others. It plays a significant role in interpersonal interactions, as it helps individuals respond appropriately to others' feelings and build stronger connections. Important details. Types of interpersonal skills. Some key interpersonal skills include active listening, paying full attention to the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. Empathy, being able to understand and share the feelings of another person, which helps in building trust and rapport. Conflict resolution, the ability to address and resolve disagreements in a constructive way, ensuring that all parties feel heard and respected. Importance of interpersonal skills. Strong interpersonal skills are important for success in many areas of life. They can lead to better teamwork, improve communication, and enhance relationships. In the workplace, good interpersonal skills can result in increased productivity and job satisfaction. Development of interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills can be developed through practice and experience. Engaging in social activities, participating in group projects, and seeking feedback from others can help improve these skills. Examples to illustrate interpersonal. 1. Communication example. During a group project in school, one student actively listens to another's ideas and responds with thoughtful questions. This open communication fosters a positive environment where everyone feels valued and encouraged to contribute. 2. Relationship example. A friend notices that another friend is feeling down. They take the time to ask how they are doing and offer support. This act of empathy strengthens their friendship and helps the friend feel understood and cared for. 3. Conflict resolution example. In a workplace setting, two co-workers have a disagreement about how to approach a project. Instead of arguing, they decide to sit down and discuss their perspectives calmly. By listening to each other and finding common ground, they reach a compromise that satisfies both parties. Summary. Interpersonal refers to the interactions and relationships between people encompassing communication, emotional intelligence, and the skills needed to build strong connections. Effective interpersonal skills are essential for personal and professional success, helping individuals navigate social situations, resolve conflicts, and develop meaningful relationships. By practicing and improving these skills, individuals can enhance their interactions and foster positive connections with others. Intrapersonal, a simple explanation. What does intrapersonal mean? The term intrapersonal refers to the internal processes that occur within an individual. It involves self-reflection, self-awareness, and the thoughts and feelings a person experiences. Intrapersonal skills are essential for understanding oneself, managing emotions, and making decisions. Key concepts of intrapersonal. 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It is the foundation of intrapersonal intelligence because it helps individuals grasp how their experiences shape their identity and actions. For example, knowing that you feel anxious in social situations allows you to prepare and cope better. 2. Self-reflection. Self-reflection involves thinking about one's experiences and feelings. It helps individuals analyze their thoughts and behaviors, leading to personal growth. For instance, after receiving feedback on an assignment, a student might reflect on what they did well and what they can improve for next time. 3. Emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is the ability to manage and respond to your emotions in a healthy way. This skill is crucial for handling stress, making decisions, and interacting with others. For example, if someone feels angry after a disagreement, instead of reacting impulsively, they might take a moment to calm down and think before responding.